everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel's Wig Reform. So today I am going to review Perry by Estetica in the color silversunrt8. Now Perry is one of the first short wigs that I ordered way back when I first started wearing wigs, and I got her, I liked her, but honestly I didn't know what to do with it. Perry is a unique style and cut. When I received her the first time, I didn't know how to style wigs or what to do with them. So it just sort of went on my head, and that's how it stayed. And now I was, online looking at wigs. I know, shocking. The other day, and I came across it again. I don't know why, because I haven't searched it or anything. It just sort of popped up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this one another try and see what I think. So I ordered her, I got her, but I also want to give you a little comparison of this wig to the wig Jet by Estetica. There will be a time, at some point in this video, I am going to refer to Perry as Jet, and I apologize. I don't know why I do it, but I do. All right, so let's talk about Jet. Jet is by Estetica also. It is a shorter style wig with a longer angled bang on the one side. Now the difference with Jet is she has just a lace front. That's it. And then the top of her is your basic cap. Now what that does is it creates permatease, and the top of the wig it's fuller. It has some lift. It's a cute wig. What I personally don't like about it on me is the way the top looks. Because it doesn't have a mono part or anything, I feel like it looks a little too wiggy. So what I normally do with Jet is I will put a scarf around her, and I have several pictures that I posted before on my Facebook page, Rachel's Wig Reform, showing that style. But that is the only way I like to wear this wig, is with the scarf, so it kind of hides that permatease and that wiggy look. Other than that, everything else is the same with, as far as the ear tabs go, the extensions, and not the extensions, but the tighteners back here in the back. Now you can see I cut the tag out of this because sometimes with this being such a short nape, if that tag, if you ever just itch the back of your neck and then all of a sudden that tag sticking out. Well, I had a worse incident with this one. I was itching the back of my neck, and these little bra style things came undone, and it was sticking out of the back of my neck. Both of them, like right here. It was real classy looking. But similar to hey, let's walk out of the bathroom with toilet paper stuck to the bottom of our shoe. I think people were looking at me like, what's hanging from the back of this woman's neck? But anyways, I don't really get too embarrassed if somebody pointed it out. I'd be like, oh, that's my wig. Can you help me? I'd probably ask them for help. But all right, so now let's talk about Perry. Perry is a different style, and you'll see it when I put her on, but I'm going to talk about the inside of the cap construction first. Perry has the lace front, but it also has a very deep left mono part, and I like that. I prefer the parts on a wig. I prefer the mono tops, but minimum a part at least. Now, you can see here in the back, do you see how long that tag is right there? It's the one with the silver sun. That's the one that always seems to stick out at the back. So I cut it, and then I just tend to cut the tags out personally on the back. It's just easier for me. And then sometimes, when you're looking from the other side, they do kind of show up in there. I don't know. So I just cut them out. All right, this has been tried on, but I have done nothing to it. So this is as out of the box as you can get. So I'm going to throw her on, and honestly, she looks just like the first one that I received. She's all on straight. Okay, now the Silver Sun, this is like a platinum silvery blonde, and it does have the darker roots. The only thing that I can tell you that I really don't care for on the color Silver Sun is that in indoor lighting, the root looks dark, which like right here, the way this looks, or at least what I can see, I like the darker looking root. When you get outside in the natural light, it takes on a more of a golden blonde, a little brassier, and that I don't care for. I wish this root was more of a neutral, darker blonde than the warmer, darker blonde, because it just, I don't know. And sometimes in the outdoor lighting, this is just so bright and pretty, and then it has sort of that orangier look to it. But that's my only issue really with Silver Sun as far as the color goes. This part of it I really like. Now I'm going to do the spin for you first to show you what she looks like. She has a very short nape crossed here. There's not a lot of length in the back. So if you do have bio hair and you have a longer hairline in the back, you would definitely want to make sure that that is secured up. But this does have good coverage in the back as far as where the nape lays for the cap itself. It lays down far enough and it gives good coverage. Now I can really say that this cap, Estetica runs a little bigger, but with this cap, this runs just a little smaller than what Jet does. It is an average size cap, and a lot of times Estetica runs just a smidge bigger. I would say with Perry, this is more average and not necessarily onto that larger size. I think, like I said, Jet runs Perry. Yeah, no, Jet runs bigger than Perry. See, I knew I was going to get these screwed up. So let's talk about the cut on this. It does have the longer bang that comes down, and then it has the longer bang over here. And sometimes these pieces right here, you think, what is this piece supposed to do? Those are kind of, those go to the back. Here's what's unique about this. This wig has what we call an undercut to it. So when you lift up these longer pieces, you have this shorter, let me pull that out of the way. It's shorter here. It's up over the ear, very short pieces, very like kind of pixie cut. And then these longer pieces come down and lay over top of it. There's not a lot of shorter wigs out there that have an undercut to it like this does. And then it's the same thing over here. When you pick this up, see it has that shorter, oh no, that's the longer piece. It has a shorter undercut to it. Tighter up over the ears. It's unique because when this lays down over top of it, this can feel like thin and you're not sure, like, what do I really do with these long pieces laying over this undercut? And that's sort of where I was the first time I got it. I was just kind of doing this. I wasn't even using product or anything, and I'm like, okay, you know, it's kind of cute, but it's kind of not. So let me show you some styling tips on what you can do with this wig to get it to look sort of like funky and fun like the stock photos do. And I am going to attempt that braid that is in the photo. Not here on this particular video, but I am going to try it. So very first thing, let's take this back off and give it a good shake. Oh, another thing. God, I'm really talking with my hands. You could tell I'm doing 1,000 cheer clinics. This wig does not have permatease in it. This is a very just sort of flatter top than what Jet has. Jet has the permatease and has more of the lift in there. So when you get Jet and you put her on, and you think, well, I might like her, but I want to try some of the things that Rachel's showing me in this video, you have to be cautious with that, because you can't try the things that I'm doing and then send the wig back. Now, when I got her, again, I thought, okay, I put her on, and I'm like, you know what? I think I can do something more with it this time around, now that I know a little more about what I'm doing. So I gave her a shake. Let's put her back on. And what that shake does is it just starts to get the fibers loosened from the cap, because that can get, you know, we don't know how long this has been sitting in the box, and it can just sort of get like smushed in and laying really tight to the fibers. This is another way you can get it moving. Before I get the hot air brush, let me give you an up close of the hairline in the part. And I'll probably pluck this out just a little bit. The parting space is from here to here, and it goes all the way back. So anywhere in between where my fingers are, you can adjust this part if you want to. All right. Here's another thing that I do, especially with these shorter wigs, is I'm going to take my hot air brush, I take the attachment off from it, and I'm going to put this just to a warm air, nothing extremely hot, and I'm just going to go in and oops, there we go, had it on the wrong one. And I'm just going to start lifting these fibers up and getting it moving. So you're going to create kind of a bigger mess before you get some results. And again, this is something you would not be able to do to the wig and then return it. So make sure you're always reading the return policies. But the biggest thing with these wigs is getting the fibers moving around. Okay. Like I said, tends to get a little crazier before it gets better. All right, now this can kind of go behind the ear, and these longer pieces can come down. This can go behind the ear too, and just this little undercut piece can pop out right there. There is maybe just a minor amount of permatease in the back section there. Okay, so we got the fibers moving up and around. What do I got going on here? Trying to see. Sorry, I'm just looking at it because I'm doing all of this stuff for the first time and videotaping it. Just a few little small pieces are falling in my bangs, but not my bangs, falling in my eyes, but for the most part, this piece of hair does stay out of your face pretty good. Even if I like look down and look up, sometimes with some wigs, when you look down like that, you feel like it just all falls in your face, and this stays pretty good out of your face. Now let me grab I'm gonna grab some John Renault Peace Out Cream, but I'm also gonna get some of my sea salt spray from Estetica. Let me find it in this. You know, this back here is either OCD organized or a hot mess. There's zero in between. Like seriously, zero. So here we go. I found it. All right, so I'm gonna use the sea salt spray by Estetica, and when you expand the description box, you will see the link for this to purchase it. What this does is it gives your hair some texture. These fibers right now are kind of silky and just sort of wanting to fall where they want to go. you want some texture in this so that you can move it around and create a different look with it. And the sea salt spray does that. However, you don't want to use a whole lot of it because it will start to make your hair feel a little, I don't know, like greasy and maybe a little too dirty. The purpose of the spray is to actually give your hair a little bit of that dirty texture. You know how like when you have fresh, clean hair, it's very silky and smooth. Then after a couple of days, and this is with bio hair, of course, but after a couple days, that's when you start to be able to, like, you can fix it easier because it's just got a little bit of buildup in it. It's kind of dirty and it's easier to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this more, and I'm going to spray lightly at the root area. And I'm just going to go around, spray just a little bit of it under. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of scrunch it in. But you can see by me doing that, see how this is starting to separate now, where before it was just kind of one big piece kind of falling down, and now it's getting some spunk to it and a little bit of a different look. I'm going to do the same over here. And this has just a light smell to it. I don't think it's anything overwhelming. I'm not sure how to explain it. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't smell gross, but it's not anything that I'm like, oh my God, does that come in a candle? Like, I'm not thinking that. Okay, and now I'm just, and when you put the sea salt spray on, I'm going to do just a smidge more over here on the outer edges of it now. It is kind of wet, so I'm going to take the blow dryer and I'm going to move it around again with that sea salt spray so it dries. And I can already feel the difference in the fibers. They're not feeling so, I don't know, silky, I guess. And I'm going to get that dried up. All right. So now you can see when I start playing with this, see how it's getting a different look to it, how it's now it's going into some style and not just laying there. Same with this over here. See how that's doing that now? Now you can start to really get this wig moving the way you want. And again, you can pull this behind the ear and, you know, have kind of a one side longer than the other, and you can pull a lot of this behind the ear also and just have this little piece here. But I'm just really getting in there and kind of messing around with it. I'm going to take some Jon Renau Peace Out cream, and you don't need a whole lot of it, and you also want to make sure that it's all rubbed in on your hands, that you don't have white chunks on it. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put some right here at the bangs. Bring this back down. And that will just help you get that little bit of lift there. And then don't be afraid to take the Peace Out cream and to work it into the ends too. And again, this has a lot of different styling options. Then again, getting that Peace Out cream, and I'm going in and see how I'm just kind of separating it at the roots, and I'll put some more Peace Out cream, and it just starts to, again, give it some style. And it can feel weird working with like these longer pieces and then having that shorter piece underneath. And I think that's what bothered me the first time with Perry, because I did not know what to do with it at all. And I'm still honestly figuring it out. I mean, this is the first time I've really styled her, because the first time I had it, I didn't. And this is long enough to also put behind your ear. And because that undercut is there, go up and pull that out and down. And then when you put that behind the ear, right there, that undercut piece will be falling down. So you could put both behind your ears. You can take this and you can clip it back, have it down like this, and get this all and clip that. You can keep this side down. Okay, you could take this longer piece right here, and because there is extra parting space, you could pull some of this up and over into it, and see, you're still dealing with lace there. You're not getting into the weft or the part of it yet. So there's some different looks there where you could pull it up and get it out of your face. You could also part it farther over so that more of these longer pieces move over into, so you're not leaving, you have a longer piece here, but it's not as long as what the piece was that you moved over here. So you can move those bangs over more. Let's see, that would be taking it too far. So now we could just sort of bring this down and around. You can bring this down into your eye more and really work with the edges here and get those kind of up in fun, or you can lift it up higher and sweep it off from your bangs, off from your forehead like this, and swing it around. There's a lot of different little looks that you can do with this wig. And the first step of achieving it is getting it messed up, getting some product in it, getting the fibers moving, and then not being afraid to put some product in it and really move this wig around and give it some style. You could like sleek this down. You could get it really funky if you wanted to. There's a lot of different little things that you can do with this, and that undercut is just kind of cute. It's different. You don't see that on a lot of wigs. So here is Perry by Estetica. Again, one of the first wigs that one of the first wigs that I purchased and didn't know what to do with her. So I got her again. I'm going to Florida in about a month, and I was looking for just a shorter style wig to wear there, because it's going to be hot. I'm going to try the braid here that they show in the stock photos, and I will show the before and after pictures of me styling this wig, and those will be on my Facebook page, Rachel's Wig Reform. You can go there and you can like the page and turn on notifications for that also, and you can see a lot of my before and after pictures. And then also you can subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications for my videos. So Perry by Estetica in the color Silver Sun RT8. I think I'm glad I ordered this again. So stay tuned for a possible, if I succeed, I'll show a video on how I braided it. Okay? All right, thanks everyone. We'll talk with you soon.